Happy Friday! What's going on, y'all? It's Nick here with F.O.F, Financial Coaching LLC, and I'm here today to talk about what else? Money. Hope you guys are enjoying your day today. Hope you guys are having a great day. You already know, as your financial coach, I want to see you do well with money. I want to see you transcend with money. I want to see you be the best steward you can be with the money that God has entrusted you with, okay? Now, this right here is part 4 of our series on debt. That's part 4. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. I really want you guys to start off thinking, even before you get in the video, just pause it and think to yourself, why do I want to get in debt? Just think to yourself, why do I want to get in debt? And we're going to talk a little bit more about that why principle as we get into the video, okay? So listen, man, I hope you guys really enjoy it. I hope you guys take a lot from it. And if you all are interested in seeing any of my videos, please don't hesitate. Go to my website at www.foffcoaching.com. I have all kind of free content on there in my blog session. And then also, if you have a question for me or you need some financial coaching, don't hesitate either on that. Send me an email at foffcoaching@gmail.com. Hope you guys have a great day. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys really start to rethink about what debt is and why you're getting into it. All right, on to the video. Why then do we go the other way? Why then do we just say, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and get into debt? What do you think it is?
You just said, we feel like we need to build up our credit. Like, okay, where did that thought come from?
Right.
Why is it that we have somewhere in our mind, we've been taught somewhere, yeah, you need to have a good credit grade. You need to build up your credit.
Right.
Why?
Well, it is true. I mean, you know,
Go ahead. No, go
Well,
ahead.
why do I need to build up
because
credit?
you can't even get a Sprint bill if you don't have credit. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Luckily, people don't know you can inherit. Like, I give my kids my credit just by making them authorized users of my cards that I don't use because there's, well, you know, a ton of bit of a credit on
Yeah.
it. But in a sense, unless you have a lot of money saved up, we don't save up money.
so
You gotta know how to save or you gotta get into that.
So let's talk about that though. So what is credit for? What is credit? Why do you, like Ms. Martin said, you think that you need credit, but what does credit enable you to do? Why is it even important? What does it enable you to do?
Get a cell phone bill in your name.
Nope, that's not what credit enables you to do. You said do stuff you shouldn't be able to do. That's closer to it.
It's
So,
basically like, you know, telling somebody
Yeah,
I can pay, pay off this certain amount of money.
so that's all credit is. A credit score, a high credit score just shows like, hey, I'm good at paying back.
I can trust you.
I'll pay you back your money over time, and to be honest with you, I'll give you so much interest on it that you know that you can give me a low thing because you know I'm gonna pay it back. You know that I'm a guarantee to pay it back. So all credit really is just allows you to borrow money. So it's difficult. So it depends on what you're trying to do. So like me, I know I don't even know if I have a credit score anymore. I probably don't. I think we've been out of debt too long, so I don't think we even have now. Now having no credit is not that bad. Having good credit is obviously a good thing. Having bad credit is what hurts you the most. But having no credit is not bad. And having no credit just means after a while, if you don't have any debt and you're not paying on anything, you just will have like a 0 credit score. It's not that bad. It's just bad when you have bad credit. That's when a lot of things are very difficult. So I definitely have a phone bill in my name. I don't have any credit. I definitely have these things, you know. Now in some situations, people may look at your credit score and maybe deny you something or deny you that. That's their prerogative. But you just the person who I save money. It's not gonna really stop you from doing basic things in life. Some special things, you know, it may kind of be difficult in certain situations. Some rental car companies, they do take debit cards. Some of them do not, but they change it so often and it's regional and you just never know. But if you get it through the plane, like if you go through Southwest, American Airlines, then you can use your debit card all the way through and then it's fine. So it just depends. So when people say you need to have credit or you need to, you really don't. If I would have known this beforehand, I would have did this. So you can do manual underwriting. So if you're ever trying to buy a house and you need to, you think you need a credit score, well, that's so that they'll do it quicker. But if you do manual underwriting, what happens is they'll do it before credit came about. I think credit came about around 1970, somewhere around there when people start using credit cards. So what manual underwriting does is look at your actual history. So they'll ask you questions and then they'll give you an interest rate. They'll give you what they would have you to pay for your mortgage or whatever through manual underwriting rather than just looking at your credit. So they got to do a little bit of a deeper dive. But companies do that still. Maybe they don't do it at like the banks and stuff now because they just use your credit score and they don't even look at your stuff. But there are ways to get around it. I just want you to make sure you have all the information. They're not going to pump that to you, but definitely manual underwriting is a real thing, and that's what people used to
But
do.
keep in mind, you're gonna have some money.
You do.
So the
But-
regular person.
Right.
You have to have an excellent savings
Right.
history. You have to have money.
Right.
So you don't have
But even if you wanted to buy a house, you got to have money because you need a down payment.
No, you don't. I mean, not a traditional. You can go get a 30-year mortgage with no money down and pay the money.
But that means you got to have like really good credit. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but people, but
really good credit is not hard. If
Yeah.
you know like I said, I can get my babies put their name on.
Yeah.
They all have good credit. Day one. They
Yeah.
get 750 credit score off the bat. But again, if you don't know this stuff, they don't have. You need how many years to save up? 20%.
That's true.
$100,000.
Yeah.
So how long would it take you to save up $20,000
Right.
to buy a house without credit?
But if you buy a house with no, let's say you don't do any money down and you do buy the house, then we go back to counting the cost again of how much more, of how much, no, I know what you're saying. Right, but of how much more that house is going to cost. Because if you buy a $100,000 house and you need to put 20% down, your loan that you're getting is for $80,000, not $100,000. Interest on $100,000 is much more than interest on $80,000. But it depends, like you said, if you're looking to pay off the house, then you want to save up your 20% so that you can at some point pay off the house.
You need to, really, we need to go back to when they force you to pay 20%.
Yeah.
You learn to be disciplined with your money.
Right.
When stuff break down, like you said, the onus is on you now.
Right.
You can't pay, like I said, a couch costs $3,000.
Right.
A refrigerator costs $2,000.
Right.
So you need to be disciplined.
That's
with
right.
your money, right?
There you go.
We're not counting costs.
Right.
We see how much the payment is. We
Right.
see how much the property value, how much the property taxes are.
Right.
So then when they shot up this year, then everybody freaked out.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't even pay an extra $50 a month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you think about it. But yeah.
You got to. And I think saving money is important, and you should have the right amount of money before you go into something. So we're using the mortgage as an example because I think getting a mortgage, I don't think necessarily is a bad financial decision when you have money saved up to be able to do it. Now, obviously, it'd be best if you could just pay cash. But to pay $300,000 for a house, $100,000 for a house, that can take a long time to save, right? But if you do decide you want to get a mortgage, think about what you're doing. At some point, you're actually buying something that typically goes up in value. You see, when you use a credit card and different things like that, you're buying things that drop in value immediately, right? When you get a car loan, you're buying something that drops in value immediately. Like, there's no upside to it whatsoever. At least with the house, you have the opportunity that is going to increase in value. So when you go into and you get a mortgage for a house, and you're responsible enough to have 10, 20 grand saved up so when things do happen, you can fix it. When you're responsible to say, okay, you know what? The house we're going to get is going to be about 25% of our take-home income so that we can take care of this house so that we can pay it and it's not killing us, okay? But again, it's all about counting the cost. It goes back to that, counting the cost. So when me and my wife, when we had a mortgage, were we slaves to the lender? We were.
Right.
Just to be honest. Every day I had to pass Wells Fargo on the way to work, and I just looked at it like, sheesh, man, I owe these people money. I'd look at it like this. I think about perspective. If somebody owed me $100,000, something like that, how would I feel? I want my money. I want my interest. I don't care what you got to say. You're gonna have to give me my money. So I could look at it from their standpoint like, man, they not really on me, but passing Wells Fargo every day, while we going through our debt-free journey was like, sheesh, this is too much. This is becoming way too much for me. And so at some point, it has to click in our mind. You know what I'm saying? It has to click in our mind. What are we doing? What's going on with us that we can, after a while, say, you know what? I don't want to be like this. But it's your choice. All right, so we're going to continue to go if there's nothing else. All right, so we're going to get into this. I'm going to talk about another story. I call it the high school trap. All right, I call it the high school trap. So, and this could be college, could be high school, anytime. Even if you left school in the 5th grade, it don't even matter. A lot of times that happens is when people leave school, they may not know what to do with their life or whatever, so they may buy a car, right? Hey, how you doing? They may buy a car. And once you buy a car, you finance a car, you finance something, you really start spending your life working for whatever it is that you bought, unfortunately, right? And so, again, I just go back to, do you think that God's plan is for us to be constantly trying to pay off something that we worked for to get? So whether it's a car. So that's that high school trip. I remember a lot of my friends, they got cars. So they was thinking about going to college. They had a nice little job. They was thinking about going to college. They bought a car. And then they was like, oh, shoot, I got to keep this payment going. So I have to continue to work. So it's not even like I like even working what I'm working. It's just I got to keep working because I got bills to pay now. And it changes it. So it's a trap. You run into this trap when if you would just be like, I can keep taking the bus right now because I don't know what I'm going to do. Or you'd be like, okay, let me buy something. I can just buy $1,000, something quick. So that's what I call the high school trap. Is you get out of school and you start buying stuff, you're not realizing like you're going to be working for a long time to get that thing paid off. So we got to stay away from that. Because I don't want to work because I have to work, although it just seems weird. I know it seems weird because it's like countercultural stuff, but I want to work because I like what I do. I want to work because I enjoy working, and I definitely do want to work for the money. I'm not lying. I mean, I do want to make money when I work. But if you can start working and really in your gift, it's hard to work in your gift when you just have to work because you don't seem like you got a lot of options to jump here, to jump there, to try and do this, to try and do that. And I think a lot of people get caught up in that trap. So it's something to think about. All right, and so now this last portion, I'm just going to give you a little bit of tips about getting out of debt and getting away from debt. And so I got some fill in the blanks here. And so one of the most important things about getting out of debt is the fill in the blank here. So I say figure out and understand your, what do you all think? Figure out and understand your finances. No, that's not right, honey. I'm sorry. That's not right. What else? Anybody else like to try?
Budget.
No, that's not it. Not it. So the fill in the blank is figure out and understand your why. Figure out and understand your why. This is critical. This is your why. Why do you want to get out of debt? See, you got to figure out, understand it. So in the same story that I've been telling you all, when I prayed, I was talking with God, and sometimes I talk to myself. It's kind of a weird thing sometimes. And I asked God, okay, I said, Lord, I said, why do I want to get out of debt? And I said, I think I want to get out of debt so that I could get into some rental property. Well, at first, let me stop lying. Okay, I'll tell y'all the real reason. So I said, why first? And I said, well, I want to get out of debt so I can just glorify the Lord and, do that. And so then I feel like God said back to me, you don't need to be out of debt to glorify me. What are you talking about? He was like, he was just like, you're supposed to be doing that anyway, just off GP. Like, you should be doing that anyway. I'm like, dang, okay. So there goes my spiritual type of thing. Okay, that's kind of out the door. So I kept asking myself why. And so when I asked this principle of why, ask yourself why like 5 times until you get to the root cause of why you want to do it. So, but my root cause was 2 things. It was one that, I wanted my wife to have an option to work or not. Like if she wants to work, she can work. If she don't want to work, she ain't got to. Because if we have children or something like that, I'm all for like the traditional, let's raise these children and do it like that way. But my wife is like, you know what? I want to be corporate America and take over the world. I'm like, okay, baby, go ahead and do that. So she just has the option to do whichever one that she wants to do. That was important to me. So that was one of my big root causes for why. The other thing was to be more financially secure. But in being financially secure, it was still understanding that the Lord is really the one where my security is. Because sometimes we can get caught up in thinking like, oh, shoot, I got all this money, nothing can happen to me, but that's not really the case. Like easily anything can happen and then all your stuff gone. That could easily happen. Yeah. Welcome back, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hope you guys got an idea of the why principle, okay? Ask yourself why 5 times. Try and get to the root cause of the reason why you're doing something, especially the reason why you're getting into debt, okay? Is going into debt for a big screen TV? Does that make sense? What's your why on that? Versus maybe getting a mortgage so that you can have a house? What's your why on that? Obviously, those are not the same thing, but people do it all all the time, not even asking themselves questions, not even talking to anybody. So make sure that you have an idea on why you're doing what it is that you're doing, and I feel like you will have a better idea to make a better decision, okay? Because listen, you guys work way too hard, way too hard to be impulse buying, to be impulse swiping, especially with that credit card. Just get rid of it, all right? Just stop doing it, okay? So instead, I want you to choose faith over fear for your finances, and of course, Happy Friday!